Every stranger you pass on the street carries their own passions, sorrows, and struggles. You never know when someone might cross your path and inspire you in ways you never expected. That was our experience with Guillermo.
So we were just editing, and then our roommate Rishika invited us out for ice cream. And we still have a lot to do to finish what's on our list for the day, but we decided to go and spend some good time with her.
Yeah, and on the way back, we ran into this random person and started talking to him, and that was Guillermo.
And we got to talking some more, and he told us about his business that he's currently forming right now. And he told us that he helps people with the drug recovery process.
We were interested in seeing how he made his business, and so we told him if he needed any help with his business, even if it was something as small as setting up chairs for a session, like we'd be happy to help. And in turn, he said that he would be willing to help us with anything we wanted too.
And so we decided that we would like to interview him to just learn more about his business model and his life story.
I help people that struggle with addiction. I organize and design programs that help users and also families in order to more or less guide them through the process of recovery. I myself am a recovery addict. I started using drugs when I was a teenager. I relapsed many times, and at the end I understood that it's not about partying or using. It's about the lifestyle that something is broken inside you. I lost everything that I ever loved, my partner, even my job, and I couldn't stop using. I personally didn't imagine I would get to that point when I was using. At the end, I found myself in situations that I thought I never would live. I was absolutely broken. I had no hope. I desired death many times while I was using. My mom reached to a level where she kicked me out of her house because she didn't want to see me die or see me hurting myself. My brother said that I was dead for him. So I ended up in meetings. I gave up relations, I gave up my friends in order to be isolated and work on myself. Thankfully, it's been nearly 5 years that I'm still in the recovery process and also helping others with their struggles. Nowadays, I'm different. I've taken back my family. I've taken back also illusion for living. With time, patience, and therapy, you can overcome it. Things will go hard, tough during life, and that's not a reason for me to go back to what I know. In my experience, even though when you've made a mistake or you've relapsed, there's no reason why you cannot go back to the recovery path. Because when one addict heals and starts his recovery process and maintains it, at the end is the community who gets the benefits, because he's not stealing, because he's not being dishonest, because he's working principles and values. The impact in society is massive. Despite of feeling down and feeling rock bottom, there is hope. There is hope for people like us. There is hope, and there's always a chance to change. Identification is the key for it. It's not that you don't have the capability of helping others if you don't have experience, but it makes you connect better with people and also the chance to go deeper into the issues that the person is struggling with. I think that people tend to look at addiction like a disease that you can get cure of, no? Like a cough or an infection, but it's not like that. Once you've developed it, you cannot take it away from yourself. Mental health issues are very related to drug abuse. You need to go a little bit deeper. You're not looking for or searching for what is the motive or the nature of its behavior. And at the end, you must heal in order to don't go back to the same attitudes and behaviors. For such a complex problem, you need loads of different kinds of approach, because every one of them particularly have their own personality, have their own background, have their own experience that you have to treat in a very specific way. Logically, what you say to yourself is, you know where you're coming from and you know what is going to happen to you, but your disease doesn't talk to you like that. It just says, one more time, Nobody's gonna know. Nobody should know. This time will be different. This time, you know much more. You know much more about yourself. You're so confident. Everything's all right. Why don't you celebrate? Why don't you give yourself a permission or a green card for the weekend? That bastard is always there. Just like Britney Spears. One more time. Give it, baby, one more time. Beginning to feel emotions with the right amount of energy, and having like a determined space when you can express instead of hiding, because that's negation. When you say, well, that's not there, that's not true. It's still harmful. In my process, I had to learn again how to understand myself and also learn how to express myself. I was like a baby in diapers, talking about emotions, purpose. I didn't have a clue about that. One thing I've discovered from myself during loads of therapy is that what I was chasing was not happiness. I misunderstood happiness with pleasure. And you can find pleasure everywhere. So that's why I had to more or less deconstruct whatever I learned. When I found out what made me really, really happy, and so being proud of myself, I was purpose, I was serving to others, I realized that I was so wrong about what life is about. You're gonna get kicked down to the ground, you're gonna fail, you're gonna suffer, because life also comes with suffering. With the treatment, at the beginning you will have loads of motivation, because guilt is also a nice motivation. You have to give back things you've done wrong, or you want to amend those behaviors, but that has an end. You cannot be thriving through addiction or recovery process and just giving back whatever you have made. Purpose for me overcomes all the other things, because motivation has a beginning and an end. So purpose gives you something to aim for. Purpose is like the path or the way you're following in order to achieve. And it's not for the aim or for the goal. It's for the journey you're making until it's not a destiny for me. I know that during that persecution, I'm going to help a lot of people. Nothing has fulfilled me in the way that serving others. It's a way for myself that I feel part of something else that it's not myself. Following that path has made me happy. And also happiness is a state for me, because sometimes I'm sad.
Our interview with Guillermo went very well, and he let us in on pretty deep parts of his life.
He also invited us to a group therapy session that we're going to attend this Wednesday.
I can't even imagine being in that experience.
We'll definitely get a dive into Guillermo's life and a deeper close at what he does.
Yeah, really see him in action, working in his own business, and also telling his own story to people who have struggled through the same thing.
We just finished a meeting, and so we have a question that we came up with after the interview last time.
Yeah.
You mentioned how you have always found it difficult to be able to meditate.
Yes.
And that is one of our aspirations that we want to kind of work on, leading meditation as well as seeing the benefits of meditation for ourselves.
Yes.
And so our question to you is,
Would you be willing to join us in a meditation that we lead, even though you previously told us it's uncomfortable?
Totally, it will be a pleasure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Perfect, yeah.
Yay!
I guess we want to challenge ourselves in
Okay.
leading the meditation as well as challenge you.
I'm looking forward for it.
Yes.
But yes, I'm totally into it. Yes.
Okay,
It's
perfect.
challenging for me. I do not enjoy it, but okay.
Okay, well, perfect.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I would say coming out of the group therapy was actually a pretty overwhelming experience that I wasn't expecting. There was a lot of really strong emotions in that room. There was regret, remorse, happiness, pride, stress, sadness, distraught,
I feel like during the 2 hours they did accomplish a lot. Like there was maybe 15 people in the circle and almost everybody got to share something that was bothering them at the time, which is crazy because in full therapy, like one-on-one, it's usually 1 hour dedicated to one person, but everybody chiming in on each person's troubles that they were going through at that particular time and what they wanted to express, but also it kind of gave the person who was talking a lot of different perspectives, because everybody in there, they ranged from like 25-year-olds to like older, like 60, 70.
And I realized that probably one of the biggest benefits of going to group therapy like that is being able to help other people through what you've already struggled through, and the realizations that have come to be so powerful to you, spreading them to other people. Just kind of what this video is all about, of bringing purpose to your pain and seeing other people who are struggling with something that you've struggled with and being able to help them.
What we learned from Guillermo is through his pain, but like what he turned that into was purpose through like a career path. But purpose doesn't have to come from like dedicating your whole life to a specific thing. Yeah, as simple as helping another person and then getting that empowerment.
Yeah, that's so true.
So I think it really taught me that you can find purpose in different ways of your life.
And I think that experience for them is very powerful. For someone like hearing the words of somebody who's gone through that, it must ring so true to them.
So of course, during the sessions, more controlled, there's a moderator and therapist, but Guillermo was talking with one of the guys there who had a lot of trouble and needed advice, and so they had kind of like their own little conversation afterwards, and just even that small connection. And you know, Guillermo doesn't know this guy, but he's really giving his time to listen to him, and some people just want to be listened to.
Guillermo was awesome in the group. I feel like he really broke through to some of the people. The words he spoke really attached to that person's mindset. Like they were able to kind of actually hear out the point they were trying to make. The whole group was trying to make, but Guillermo really was able to say it in a way that spoke to them.
I think people who go through such deep difficulties in their lives are also able to speak with a lot more kind of force to others, because they've gone through the process of recovery as well as contemplating those same emotions that guy might have already had, that Guillermo might have had in the past, so he really understands, and that's something that Guillermo talks about in his interview.
Yeah, he's like very qualified to talk on the topic, not because he studied it, not because he's academically earned that knowledge, but because he's experientially lived it.
But also, I think that goes to say, just because you haven't went through something doesn't mean you can't help someone. Sometimes truly someone just needs to be listened to. One of the girls who was there, it kind of was apparent that she just really needed that support. Everybody jumped in. I think just being listened changed her mindset and helped her process some of those feelings as well.
I'm very grateful to Guillermo for letting us see how he works and see how the process of recovery works. And
Thank you, Guillermo.
Thank you, Guillermo. And like how much effort truly goes into that. Because Guillermo offered us a little glimpse into his life, I'm really excited to show him a glimpse into our life and sharing the experience we've had with meditation and with him.
He said that meditation has been very difficult for him.
Yeah.
And so that's why we wanted to challenge him as well as ourselves to begin to be able to lead meditations.
Nice seeing you again.
Hola.
Are you excited?
No. I'm not very amused about it.
Well, maybe you'll change your mind
Yes,
after.
of course.
So what kind of meditations have you tried in the past?
Guided meditation, counting meditation, and also usually connected with breathing.
Okay.
No?
And that has been difficult for you?
Always. My problem is that when I start breathing and when I start meditation or trying to focus my attention on something and let something pass, the volume and the frequency my thoughts happen are really high and are really intense. So I struggle a lot, like letting things go by. And I get onto something and the rumination, it's called. Rumination.
Yes.
When I was a kid, my parents sent me to a meditation camp, and the techniques that they offered to bring you back into your body, into the present, they called anchors.
Listening, touching, and breathing.
Yes, yeah. Is there a particular one that works better with you?
I believe breathing, no? So I first started just with breathing and then counting. Counting mentally and imagining the number while I was connecting with my breathing. That was more or less the pace and the way in order so that if something came to my mind during that process. And I knew it was a hard pull out if I didn't know the number I was counting before. So that was more or less how I knew I was or I wasn't concentrated.
I mean, I don't think you can do meditation wrong. I think you can feel
Successfully or not?
Well, what I think perhaps there's a difference in doing meditation successfully and focusing successfully. Because meditation is just the act of doing it. And if you're doing it, even if you get distracted, you're still doing it. And that in itself is, if it's good for you, then it's 100% right, no matter how it goes. But if you're measuring your success based off of how focused you are, then...
Not just focus. For me, it's more like being an addict. You want immediate results. You need something that makes it up for the effort you're doing, no? Like instant pleasure or instant satisfaction or whatever. But it's so frustrating when you feel that you've accomplished nothing and you've been like for half an hour, no? But I'm a little bit more.
Like overcritical of yourself?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I think
I want to do it good. I have to do it good. The thing is that with addiction and with drugs, you get immediate satisfaction.
Yes. Yeah.
So the amount of time you can dedicate to something before it bores you or you get frustration is minimal.
Shall we meditate?
Please.
So I have one question for you. University and in high school, before meditating with our friends, we would ask them to maybe name how they're feeling with one word currently right now before we meditate, and then as well as when we finish meditating. If you could describe how you're feeling currently in this moment, what would it be?
Prepare. Is that okay? Prepare.
After finishing the meditation, what is one word that describes how you're feeling right now?
Surprised. I managed to be. Even with intrusive thoughts, even with thinking, I believe the key was observing and letting be instead of judging. So I try to repeat that myself mentally during whatever happened. No? And
You think that was kind of a key word that helped you?
yes, I believe observe. More than criticize or want to change. No?
Yes.
Observe.
Just kind of separating yourself from...
Yeah, like something like perspective.
Yes.
No?
Yes.
In order to just see but not interact with.
Yes.
Because the chance I judge it and I start thinking about it, of what it's supposed to me, what's supposed to do it, then that's where the cycle starts. So
yes.
I'm surprised. Yeah.
Then there's the observed and the observer. And that creates some space between that feeling, emotion, thought, and you. Kind of just like watching class. Kind of some tea?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Mate and meditation!
The experience.
You're welcome.
Mate was horrible.
Okay.
You don't like that dirty water?
It's not about the dirty water. Normally it's more intense and it's different. It has a different taste. It's not so watery.
It tastes like dirt water?
No, dirt no. Like when you cut grass and you have that kind of water.
Grass water.
You've had grass water before?
Yes. Who hasn't?
Yeah. I mean, we all have today, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately. It was all perfect until the mate. Take care.
Put the grass water where it belongs.
This is actually where we got the tea.
We just picked it from here.
Best mate in town.
In a world fixated on a culture of constant productivity, choosing a little adventure can uncover the most profound connections. What felt like an unproductive detour of our planned schedule at first led us to discovering Guillermo's story, a journey of pain transformed into purpose. Beneath every passing face are untold experiences, joys lived, pains endured, stories waiting, and sometimes simply listening can spark inspiration.